Hi guys, it's Belle here and it is day 14 of Junk Journal January 2025, hosted by the lovely Meg Journals. Links will be down below. Check those out if you haven't already. And today's one is an interesting one. It is balance. Now, I don't know where everyone else's head went, but my head, especially after doing this little cutie last time, I was obviously talking about the Fae, and I was talking about like the old gods and beliefs and all that kind of thing. So the thing that came to mind for me for balance was the Egyptian goddess, and excuse me for my pronunciation, I am not Egyptian, but it's either Mayat or Mayat, I think it is, Maat. Mayat. And she is the Egyptian goddess, or she was the Egyptian goddess, of truth, justice, balance, harmony, order, all that kind of thing. So I thought, let's go Egyptian with this one. I've got lots of different little Egyptian scraps here. I like it this side. I've got all these little Egyptian scraps here. I have some scrapbook paper that I've had for absolute ever, and I mean forever. I think this is from a Release the Crafting kit. I'm not going to, don't know if I'm going to use that. This may be a Mrs. Coggs printable. Don't know if I'm going to use that yet. I've got some scraps. I got a few scraps. I also have this from, it's actually from a vintage Egyptian book, and we actually have her name down here. Although normally I see it with the little accent in between the M and A, but this is Egyptian, so that's probably the way it is. I also have some feather dyes, which I'll explain. And I have this beautiful woman who, if you look, it looks like there are like Egyptian palm trees in the background. And she has an Egyptian look. I don't know, but she has that. And I thought she worked perfectly. I'm going to trim her a little bit, actually. And we are going again with the idea of, this is the Egyptian goddess Mayat. Am I saying that right? Mayat. And we're going with that, but it's her in the modern world. Well, when I say modern, this looks like it's 1930s, maybe 40s at a push, but it looks more 1920s to 30s, I think. So in the background, we are going to layer up with this beautiful scrapbook paper that I have literally had, like I said, forever. I don't even know. This is it. This is the last scrap of this particular one that I have. And we are going to just layer that in the background. Yeah, that's the thing to do, Belle. Cut. Use your paper trimmer on, on your wibbly wobbly journal. So we're going to use that. I'm worried we're not going to see a lot of those trees, actually. So what I might do is actually put some more over there, like layer them up. But I want this on here first. Yeah, I want that on there first. So let's get that glued on. So as I said, she was the goddess of truth, justice, and order and harmony. And it was said that she, sorry, I was grabbing my glue. I forgot to get a new glue stick. That she would, when people died and moved into the next phase, she would weigh their heart against an ostrich feather. And if their heart weighed, I think it's more than the feather. If it was lighter than the feather, that meant that you were a good person, that you had done more good things in your life and left the world a better place. And therefore, you could move on to the next world. If you weren't, if your heart failed the balance test, see what I'm going for? Balance. If your heart failed the balance test, then unfortunately you were not going on to eternal life, to the next world. So she was given the job by the other gods of making sure harmony in the universe was maintained. And Egyptian pharaohs were meant to also make sure that they did their part in this, that they actually conformed and made sure Ma'at, balance, harmony was maintained in their kingdom. Now, she is, not only does she look beautiful, have palm trees, but she's all in white, because it's often suggested, or it's said, that one, she used a white ostrich feather, but that she carried this on her head. She's also depicted as having wings, but as I said, she's often depicted as a feather, white ostrich feather. So I have my 2 Tim Holtz dies. Now I know there's 2. It adds balance for me to have 2 dies. That's what I want. But one of them is definitely going to be white. It's going to be in this beautiful white handmade paper with these swirls all over it. So one of them is going to be white. And I was wondering about bringing in a little bit of pink to just get the colour pink in here somewhere. And we could have the pink brought in. So I'm going to go die cut these and then we'll add them to the page. Okay, so I die cut both of those feathers out. And yes, so I just wanted to do something, again, bringing in that idea of the old world meets the new, although is the 1930s new? I don't know about that. It was to them, obviously, but to us now, we look at things and we're like, does that look like a feather? I feel like it does, but I feel like the bit that makes it look like a feather is the bit that's covered up. Maybe it could go on top of the photo. So I do apologise if you're Egyptian or you speak it and you can say the word better than I can. I apologise for that. I was thinking of bringing in some of this black. Do you see how it's got the black and red? I also love the eye. I think I'm going to rip the eye out. The eye of Horus, isn't it? It is said that her father was the sun god Ra as well. And I wanted to do something a little bit different. This feels very me, as it were. I also want her name. I want it in Egyptian. I was thinking of the pyramids. Should we cut them out and see what that looks like? These are obviously the pyramids at Giza. I'm assuming they're the pyramids at Giza. I mean, it would make sense. There's a lot of yellow on this page. So I do have to think about bringing in some of the other colours. But I can do that. Maybe if we had the pyramid brought in. Maybe move her up a little bit and her feathers. Okay, so I like that. I like that. Let's just trim that to size. And yeah, I'm imagining again that she's living in the modern world, but still doing what she's been doing for millennia, or for as long as humanity's been around, I suppose. Well, the gods were supposed to be there before humanity, weren't they? But you know what I mean. That she's performing her job and trying to keep order and balance in the universe. I think that feather would look good on top, actually. I like that. I like that. Now, I want a heart. And I'm trying to work out how to do the heart, like what to have it on. because I have my own heart that I my first ever attempt at lino die cutting, which was about 3 or 4 years ago now, and to be honest, I haven't really done it since. One of the things I made was a heart. I also made a pumpkin, which I absolutely loved, but do you know, I cannot find that pumpkin. For the life of me, I can't find that pumpkin. I was wondering about doing it on the handmade paper, but that's a bit of a waste, isn't it? We could always do it on the back of here. That's what we could do. I'm wondering what colour I want it. I mean, we could just go for red, couldn't we? Because, you know, we've used red in the rest. And I don't think I want a really bright, perfect red. Let's go for barn door. Oh, this is the one that falls off. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like the fact. And I've realised this is more purple than pink. Okay, the barn door one comes off. What have I got here? Okay, so I have crackling campfire, which is always more orange than red. And we have worn lipstick. Let's try both. So yeah, this was my first attempt at lino cutting, which I said I loved the pumpkin. I made a few different stamps years ago, but I cannot find the pumpkin. I know what all my other ones that I made are. Oh, it's so cute. And it's quite muted, which is quite nice, because that way, yeah, this is always more orange, crackling campfire. So I know we've got orange in this journal, but I don't think, I mean, it's really orange. Does that look orange on there? No, it looks red. And then you open it and you're like, oh my goodness me. So let's have a look. Although, even though it's orange, it does have that bit of red. Let's cut them both out. Let's just do this and do this. Quite like that too. Haha. Maybe I like it when it's less, when it has a bit of distress to it. Let's cut them out and see what we like. Yeah, that's more purple than pink. I really thought it was pink. And now I'm wondering if I want that. I have my scrap papers. We could bring in some blue. That might be quite nice from my scrap box. We do have some pale pink here. Do you know what? I'm wondering if I want to bring in the blue. Okay, guys, I am going to cut another feather because that's bothering me. And I'm also going to cut around these and then we'll see what works best. Okay, so I've cut out the hearts and I did two different because this has the blue and white, which I also really liked. And this has the dark blue, which might be too dark blue. I don't know. See, I think the blue and white is really nice. The blue does pop more, though, as a colour. And we're going to have the heart. I really love this one, I think. I love the kind of gradation that is on there. It kind of reminds me of a desert. We do have the pink one. I mean, I like the pink. It's too pink. We're not going with that one. Okay. I've already made my mind up. Do I like that blue? Well, I was also thinking about going around the heart with a little bit of black. That's what I was thinking of doing because I feel like, I wish I had a proper scrap of black, that it would outline more. I mean, I could just draw around it, couldn't I? I could just, will this work? Guess we'll see. Will this work? Okay, let's get my pen. No, that's my distress pen. You can see I'm really organised today. Do you know what it is? I'm kind of forgetting what day is which. I'm filming ahead so that I can get as much done before I go away, even though I will be filming when I go away. And so I kind of keep forgetting what the day is and what video I'm on and what post needs to go up. That's a thing. I feel like doing just some little dots. Wouldn't it be great if I could actually draw the eye? But I can't. And I'm not going to attempt to and ruin my heart. It's not happening. So I'm not attempting that. Let's see. Let's put this back. We're going to have her there. We'll have this feather behind, her white ostrich feather. We could bring in the pop of blue. And then we've got the heart coming onto there. I do actually really like that. Let's try it with the light blue, which I could go around the edge with. I think I like the pop of blue. Yep, that's going to go like that. We still want the eye somewhere. I feel like I want the eye somewhere. Maybe I could cut around it a little bit more and see what that looks like follow the dotted line kind of thing. So yeah, I'm forgetting what day's which. I'm trying to keep organized. I have my little diary where I keep a note of all the videos that need doing or tasks that need doing, and then what I've done and what I still need to do. But to be honest, at the moment, it's just a long list because I'm also trying to get everything ready to take with me for the projects that I want to be doing whilst I am away. And that's easier said than done because I like to always think, oh, but what about if I need this? And what about if I need that? So, yeah. And I've only got a couple of projects I want to work on while I'm away. But I also do have to film because I'm not going to get everything for Junk Journal January done in time. So I do need to get some done. That's much better. I feel like she should have the eye somewhere. Possibly. We may not even do it. Okay, I want her name. So I am going to rip that out. I feel really bad about Imhotep on the other side, but you know, sorry, it has to be done. She needs her name. I always think this is fun, learning about other gods, goddesses, mythology, all that kind of thing from other cultures. I know a lot about my own. Where is my black? There it is. From Ireland. But yeah, Egyptian mythology is fascinating. Their culture is fascinating. Their history is fascinating. Or it is to me as a historian. I'm wondering if I want her name up here instead. With the eye. I really want the eye on there, but I don't think it's going to work. And that makes me sad. And we can barely see any of the palm trees now. So I think I am going to bring more of the palm trees on. We can rip it and have that effect too. So that looks quite fun with the ripped edge. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's do that as well. This is one of those where I have the basic idea, but we're playing with the composition of it. So, do I actually want, because this is ripped and torn, do I want to go down this edge just to make sure that I emphasize a little bit that that is ripped and torn? I mean, all cultures have ancient gods and goddesses and things like that. And it's just fascinating because they all seem to be similar in their, obviously their jobs, because obviously humans have the same kind of, as a society, we have the same kind of thoughts, you know, afterlife, good and evil, all that kind of thing, agriculture, you know. So the old gods have that. I like that pop of black on there, actually. That's where we could put her name maybe across there, or maybe down here, because there's this little gap and I don't like the gap, but I also like that black there. Actually, I have something else that could go there. We have some corrugated card. That always comes in handy. I also have, I was making some teensy dancy ruffles, and they could go there. I mean, I have the blue one, the light blue, but obviously we've got blue here, but does that matter? Or if we want to bring this in, I kind of like that. I really don't know where I'm going to put her name. I suppose I could try and write her name, but I wanted her name in the Egyptian. I've also got a gold doily. Now, I haven't used tons of gold everywhere. Oh, yeah, I like that. I think I like that. I'm thinking because of Ra, you know, the sun god, whether I want to add that or not somewhere. I do kind of like it behind her. I'm trying to look at what other pages look like. All right, should we start sticking and then we'll go from there, because that's kind of what I need to do. So as always, I'm just going to glue the bottom and then start building once the bottom is... Do you know, I think it's so cold that I feel like my glue's freezing. Although saying that, it's another beautiful bright blue day today. Freezing. I think it was something like -3 yesterday, which meant that my garden just stayed frosted. In fact, I've woke up with it frosted, except for one area. It's so funny because sort of something from next door is creating almost like an opening where the sun can actually get through. And that bit of my garden, no frost, nothing whatsoever. The rest of my garden, absolutely covered in frost. It's actually quite funny. Do I want that on top or underneath? I know I had it underneath, but do I like it underneath? We could bring her down and bring that down like that into the pyramid. And we could do that. I kind of didn't want to lose some of her outfit, but I mean, we could bring that down and then that covers that space. And then we have this. And then we have this space here. I didn't like that space. Nope, we're going to move her over. She's going to be here. That's where she's going to be. So, yes. I'm also wondering, do I want the blue behind and the white? We're really moving things about today. I feel like that's too much white at the front, so we're not doing that. But yeah, so I have this one square in the whole of my garden. Not that my garden doesn't get sunlight, it actually gets quite good sunlight, but one square in the whole of my garden that doesn't have a single piece of frost on it. And then, we have, I wanted that on here, didn't I? Yeah. Do we want to add it with a brad? I think we do. And then the rest of the garden is just absolutely full of frost. Oh, do we want another heart? because we've got one heart on here. I thought another heart would be fun. I did go through my brads a little bit. Shocking how many brads I have that aren't put away. We've got a little flower on there. Oh, we've got a little blue heart. I mean, we've already got a pop of blue, but where did that go to? Got our little blue heart. Yep, I think I want that. Yeah, I have this giant bag of random, not random, just a really giant, again, not the right thing. I need to put washi on so that when I grab it that I know exactly which is my craft knife and which is my poker tool, because I have them turned upside down like this and they both have the metal. Normally I should be able to tell because, you know, one's thinner than the other, so that should help. But me being me, that's not always the case. So let's go through little blue heart. Makes me feel like we should have a third heart on here, but I don't know. Okay, so we have that, and I am going to go around it in my pen. Where did I put my pen? I literally just had it. Oh, that was a different one anyway. Oh my goodness. So yeah, Frosted Garden. It's lovely. It's like a little wonderland out there without the snow, and it's all crunchy. But it was funny because all the birds were obviously in that one little patch of garden that had no frost on it. I'd put some stuff out this morning because, you know, you've got to make sure the birds are looked after in this weather. And yeah, they were all just, didn't matter where else everything was, they were all in that tiny patch. But they were like, yeah, this actually has grass, so we'll avoid the rest. Okay, let's get this stuck down now. Let's take the lid off the glue. So again, I apologise if this is not how you pronounce her name. But I am not Egyptian, so hopefully I pronounced it okay. Okay, the rest of this can now get glued down. And yeah, see, my head just goes to interesting, strange places when I think of balance. Balance could be the composition of the piece that you're working on. Scales, like I said, which might lead you down the idea of justice, or which is basically what she is, goddess of justice. But, you know, like the legal system and all that kind of thing, or just scales, that might take you down the idea of cooking. There's all sorts of things that you can do with balance. So that is just interesting, but mine went to balancing the scales, ancient Egyptian goddess. That's where mine went. So yeah, I am trying to change up some of the layouts. I think I've shown you, well, you would have seen in other videos by now, that there is like either full pages or this. I really do think my glue might have frozen. This is fun. Right. Full pages, off to different sides, that kind of thing. I'm just playing. Just having, please don't tell me this one's also. No. Okay, this is good. Normally I don't have any problems with my Cosmic Shimmer Glue at all. And I like the fact that I've brought in, obviously, my own stamp. I know it's basic, guys. It's a very, very basic stamp cut from lino. But I think it was literally my first attempt. It was this, and then I went straight to a pumpkin. And then I made, like, a goddess and things like that. Like, did lots of interesting things. But I haven't picked up my lino cutting in a couple of years, mainly because I'm really not very good at it, so I could only really do very, very basic things, which isn't a problem. You know, it's okay to just do the basics. I feel like I still want this brought in. I like that down there. Let's add that down there. That is something I have to pick up this year again, because I have a lot of lino, especially the little circle ones that I cut the heart out of. So it's taking up space, and I have to either use it or at least destash some of it. Not all of it, but some of it. So we want her on that on there. Now, where did her name go to? I had it here. Oh no, where did that go? Can you guys see it? Let me just find that. Were you guys shouting that it was right at the top of the journal? Because it was. It was right at the top of the journal. We could just put it right at the top. I don't like it there. I feel like it's the colour that's bothering me. It seems very white. So I'm going to bring in a bit of yellow or blue. That's what I'm going to... Maybe blue. Maybe that's what we should do. Bring in a blue as I got my yellow out. Even though my blues never work very well, because they're really quite old. But maybe just the paleness of it will help a little bit. Let's do it on here. I mean, there is some coming off on this. Tumbled Glass is one of my favourite blues. So I do need to get a re-inker to bring this up to usefulness, but it's still there. Can you see? It's very faint, but it's still there. Yeah, that was what was bothering me. I may even bring in just a touch of yellow to the edge. I may do that. I say I may. I am. Obviously, the yellow and the blue is going to go green, but I still think it works. Okay. I really think I like that. I'm just trying to work out now. I would love if I'd been able to put it on there. Maybe if we trim it a bit more, maybe I could get it on there. I know that takes off a lot of that yellow that I've just done, but I can do more. Let's try that. Would that work on there? Let's trim just a smidge more. I didn't want it so straight. I think that was what my problem was, but it may have to be. So we can have her name on there. I think that's what I like. Okay, that makes me happy. I mean, it's a simple page, but it's another page where sometimes simple's okay because it's more about what you're doing on that page. It's still taking me quite a long time because I just want everything, funny enough, balanced. I just want it balanced. So I can really hear that dog outside. It doesn't sound like one of the ones that is often saying hello. Sounds like a different one, but I think that's now set off the other ones, bless them. And I was just wondering if I had a word, like a small word in black. Maybe we grab the rub-ons again. Be surprised. None of you. Trust your heart. Oh, that seems to be... Or seen and noted, because she has seen and noted whatever it is you're doing. I'm wondering, because we could put something on her and something in the heart. So I want to get the white ones out. Trying to read the white is always good life. We need good life because that is what Or should we have seen and noted on her and see if I can find good life? I think I've used that on the other one. Let's have good life for her, because that's what she's checking, that you've lived a good life, that your deeds have been good, that you have brought more to the world. And that doesn't mean big things. It could just mean simple things, you know? We don't all have to live amazing, huge lives and make huge achievements. It's those little everyday things, which is what I'm always saying, that make life what it is and make life important. I really want to put seen and noted, because I feel like that's what she's done. She's seen what you've done and she's noting what you've done. And, you know, realistically, let's put it in the heart if I can get it in there. Right, let's do this. I need to find the bit it came off now. In the end. So we have noted, because she has judged that. Although, you know, again, so did the pharaohs try and do that, and anyway, it'll be interesting to see what other people choose as balance. Whether anyone else's brain goes, let's go to an Egyptian goddess. Probably not. Maybe it's just me. But there we go. And do you know what? I think that's it. I would add black splatters, but I don't know if I want it. Let me look at it opened up, because even though it's its own page, do I want some black splatters? Do you know what? I feel like I do. So let me grab some black splatter stuff. Okay, I have my paint, my black acrylic paint, because I ran out of my ink, my favourite ink, yesterday. And what, oh, do you know what we haven't put on? I've just seen it. Were you shouting at me? Belle, don't forget, where's my little scissors now? Oh, there they are. We haven't put the word balance on, have we? But I have an idea for this. So let me do that. I do have an idea, and I think I want it in yellow. So I'm going to bring in my yellow. Again, I'm just going to do it on here. Let's bring in the yellow. Okay. And I think I want it. Well, I was going to put it under her word, actually. We could put it under there. No. I feel like there's too many words if I put it under there. So I'm going to put it under here. And then it's under there. It's kind of hidden, but it is under there. Does that make sense? So that's where it's going. And then we're going to add some black splatters, which means I need to cover a lot of this up. So we've got 14. Have it. I need to make sure it's covered by this. Let's bring that back. Yes, yes it is. Let's have the number 14 showing. There we go. So balance, it is on there, but it's hidden. I like that. I like that. Okay, let's spray some water on this black acrylic paint. I'm going to mix that together. But before I do that, I need to grab some paper. And we need to cover, actually we need to cover quite a bit. I need to cover there. I need to cover her eyes. We need to cover the fact that it says Good Life. And we need to cover her name. So that that doesn't get inked. I don't mind about the heart getting inked, the little metal brad, but the rest, no. And then we're going to mix this acrylic paint. And also I need to, that might actually be too, I need to cover this up. And then I need to cover, I'm just saying cover a lot. I'm just grabbing some of my scrap paper that I use. Let's bring this one in, this is fun. Some of my scrap paper, I need that under there. And I want to add this under my actual piece. And then we are going to see what the splatters look like first, because I always like to pre-splatter. Okay, they're not too bad. I don't even mind that they're on the other. Okay, I think that might be enough. Let's have a look. Let's remove these because I don't want too much. I just wanted a bit more contrast. I definitely prefer my Newton ones because one, they dry quicker, and two, I prefer the fineness that they splatter. Obviously, if I use more water, I could probably make it finer, but yeah, that is today's page, guys. So I know it took us a while to get there, but I really do like it. I like the fact that it's all down here and we've got some space up the top. There'll be a tab up there anyway. I think we've achieved, I feel like I've achieved the prompt balance because they work quite well together as well. We've got the yellow here. We've brought in some orange and we haven't seen some kind of orange in a while. We had some orange in some of the others. But we haven't brought orange in a while, so it might be nice to do that. Balance, and I've gone with Mayat, the ancient Egyptian goddess of harmony, balance, order, and justice. And so we have an Egyptian theme going on, which is a little bit different to the rest of the journal, but actually I like it. I like how it's come together. We've even got the word hidden. That makes me think of movement. You know, on a scales where things move, this kind of makes me think of that. So I didn't think of that as I was doing it, but actually now it's popping into my head. It works like that. We have the white feather to represent her white ostrich feather. She's also dressed in white. We've had the words good life and seen and noted because she's weighing you against her ostrich feather. We've got her name in what I'm guessing is Egyptian. It was in an Egyptian book. We have the Eye of Horus, the pyramids. We've kind of linked it all together and it still comes with the word balance. So I'm super happy with that. Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Again, I apologize in advance if I'm not saying the word right. Do you see what I mean by how fine this one is? The splatters and how big these are. I just prefer finer splatters, I think. It'll dry fine. It's just going to take a while, whereas the Newton ones dry within like a minute. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, share and comment. Love reading your comments. And I will be back again soon for another video. Until then, guys, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of crafty fun. Bye for now.